Cradle, The Rise of the Chosen, Chapter 4. "Can I clean this up?" Takuma said, pointing to a stack of shuffled papers. For some reason, that particular stack of white and shell pink paper had always slightly aggravated him, going back the whole 3 days he'd been in his career. "Why bother? You're royalty." "I'm Ohinta, not royalty," Takuma corrected. "Not after what Tiexu saw." What exactly did he see? Takuma was genuinely curious now that things had settled down a little bit. Someone cleared their throat in the doorway. Takuma looked inside. "What is it, Kudos?" "We're going to Zioria, the capital palace of the Pohira." "Why?" "Because that is where your office is," Kudos responded. Takuma really didn't feel like walking that far right now. The walk from his parents' hut to the law house was enough for a morning walk, and he basically just arrived. Now he'd have to walk Buitini, 5 miles to get to Zioria. On the greenest part of the path, Kudo suddenly stroked his zine. Takuma knew they'd have to stop for Squikari, or it'd be bad luck, especially for this occasion. Squikari was ceremonial tea drinking upon certain occurrences that originated in the Lotfiori holy book. When the landscape is brilliantly green as it was where Takuma and Kudos were walking, Squikari was a given. It goes back to the 9th chapter of Ayaturi, a thief turned to a seer or psychic for the god that is hidden, or Ti'uz. Ayaturi was running from the lawmen after stealing the ancient jewel of Juikwata, worth millions, but he came upon a bright green patch of the forest and stopped his escape because he enjoyed the peace of it all, and he made himself tea that he'd carry just in case he met a woman that he wanted. So he sat and drank the tea, and eventually the lawmen caught up to him, but they all walked right past him as if he were invisible. And Montui, or Monty, miracle like this were sought by the people of Takuma's in the greater group of tribes. So what Kudos and Takuma did was perfectly normal. Let us witness in the company of the divine young man. Cut that crap out. They both sipped the sweet tea and chuckled a little. Ziorioi was taller than he remembered it, and he was much younger the last time he saw it this closely. The green marble dome with the gold scepter glinted, and Takuma noted that the sun was white that day. Underneath, the columns were a pleasant beige, and the banner of Cloutier was waving lazily in its crimsons and violets. "Are you nervous?" "A little, just a little." "The star, the wise eyes. You are too kind, wise king," Takuma responded. The palace room was grand. There was a sea of sitting cushions and drapes of silk even in the middle of the room. Grigrua incense, holy incense, was burning in all the corners, but it was just the 3 men occupying it at the moment. "Take a seat, you two," Ito the king offered. Takuma and Kudos sat on plush cushions and waited. "As a matter of fact, Kudos, would you like binku, sexual service?" "No, sir. I'll accompany my windseal here, thank you," Kudos answered proudly. As Takuma guessed it, it wasn't a wise answer because Ito was staring menacingly at Kudos at the moment. Kudos bowed and stood up. "Thank you, sir. My apologies. Sincere apologies." Ito, barely waiting for Kudos to exit to whatever brothel there was. "Tell me, son, what are your visions now that you are Sikdu, governor?" "I haven't had any visions about this yet," Takuma answered, feeling a little too humble. "No, you miss. What are your ambitions? What do you want to change?" Ito asked. I guess, I don't know. Tiku Alima. God will tell me." Ito gave Takuma an odd look and kept it. "Tiku Akumani?" "Sorry, boss, the gods will tell me." "Would you like a drink?" Ito offered after he sipped his own tiba, whiskey. "No, thank you, though." Zeke Minu. Marijuana? It doesn't agree with me. Zeke Munu. Takuma was beginning to get uncomfortable, and he could tell the king was too. No man would turn down the best binkui in the land. Sorry, I have Siondioa. I am bonded to one woman. No man I know turns down all these manly guijamas, pleasures. Takuma was silent in thought for a moment. Sometimes the man must be clear in spirit to serve his superiors, respectfully. My spoils are that of joy of service. King Ito sipped his whiskey peacefully for a handful of moments and then set his glass down and scratched his crotch before looking at his nails. What should we do about the Volkumen? Right then, Takuma got that severe pinch in his right temple, and simultaneously his left Itoriyama itched deep inside his skull, and he waited in discomfort. Show them respect, Takuma said. Ito scratched his crotch again and then blew his nose with a beige silk handkerchief. You're not scared of them? Ito asked. I am. But I think this is the time to learn and turn to the holy before they see us stray, Takuma answered. You know I've had you followed then. Well, now it's obvious. Tikui Bunglad, a ruler's prerogative. King Ito cleared his throat and shrugged. They keep leaving when we approach them. We want to work with them, but how do they leave? Sparkles, thousands of sparkles in the air. Who else has seen them? No one other than the first who spotted them. We had the Nitu Trota Tikuma. We had the local shaman make spiritual haze there. Takuma thought. No one's become suspicious? Really, what else can we do? Takuma felt the heat of a warm hand on his right shoulder and a sense of chill down his spine. I'll have Kudos take me there soon, Takuma said finally. King Ito gave him a speculative side-eye. Sure, but make no agreements until you talk to me and me directly. Of course, you don't have to say it, of course. Do you drink cola? His office was nice and cool, it being summer and with the time of clear skies. He had a really tall window that overlooked the west end of the capital, and in the distance he could see the Hyuga waterfall at the Timonu resort with all its palms and floral trees. Kudos walked in and bowed. Hey, Takuma greeted from his floor cushion. Kusaya, leader. Kudos sat and poured water from the carafe. He drank for a few moments while Takuma looked out the bright window. Something stinks to high hell here, Kudos remarked. Tell me why you think that. Too much sin. Caught 2 different people in lies already. Important people. Takuma sighed and gave Kudos an honest look. Ulitu or Ulitu. This was a saying that really can't be literally translated, but basically means we'll see until we see. It could get dangerous though, Kusaya. I'm not worried. You're the one I'm protecting. Yeah, you have a point, but Tilu, I'm starting. You're starting to believe in your Itoriyama. Takuma took a deep breath and nodded. Anyway, I want to get to Uritu as soon as possible, Takuma stated firmly. Oh, that's right, I haven't told you yet. Takuma filled in Kudos, and the elder sat in thought with his legs crossed. You ready for something like that, Kusaya? I can't let the people down, and honestly, something is calling me there. Like Bikuyu? A holy feeling? If you want to be general, yeah. But it's more like Foplia Yujil, the first step of true destiny for a young man. Kudos nodded for a moment. What does your Itoriyama say? Nothing, which is odd. My Diru is helping, spirit. But the Itoriyama, it just watches. Kudos nodded again. God will help us. This caused Takuma's heart to beat severely in his chest, and Kudos was looking straight into his eyes already. Something was watching inside of him. Tikil Biun, stated Takuma, and looked into Kudos' eyes until Doliman respectfully looked away.